Welcome to another of Passport's online Zoom Tour Director lecture series. My name is David Markle, and I'm the president of Passports. Today we have with us again Luis Troconis, who's going to talk about Spanish street language. So this is an exciting lecture. I've been sort of circled this one on my calendar because this one looks fun. For more information about our lectures, please visit passports.com/blog. And you can see all the lectures that we've done here. All of them are recorded. So everything that we've done is here with video and direct links and available for you to share. You could use them however you see fit with your students, send them to family, whatever you like, really. And we hope that you do. So our lectures are generally 20 to 30 minutes, though sometimes they go longer. You can post any questions in the chat. And after that, we will have a Kahoot. So pay attention because everything that is in the Kahoot is in the lecture. So there it is. At this point, I turn it over to Luis. Hello, Luis.
Hello, Dave. Thank you very much for this new opportunity. I'm very excited too, and I think we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, of course. All right, I've canceled my screen share and you can take it from here.
Okay, good. Let's see. I'm going to try this option today. I think it's going to be better than previously. It's loading, a bit slow. Can you see it well?
Yes, looks beautiful. Spanish street language.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, like Mr. Markle have just said, my name is Luis Troconis. I am an architect and I am also a tour director for Passports. I've been teaching English for a while, Spanish sometimes, but of course, since I have lived in Venezuela, in the US, and in Spain, it's been 14 years almost in Spain, so I have a dual citizenship, Spanish and Venezuela. I think I enjoy this country as a local and as a tourist, and I try to look for those unique and very useful phrases for all of us. And today it's a bit tricky because I know some of you speak really good Spanish, others have a lower level maybe. So I'm trying to have something that everyone can understand. At the beginning, we're gonna refresh your mind with typical things or greetings. In the middle, we're gonna see the most common words and phrases. Of course, there's a really wide variety of options in Spanish, but I chose a few because also we have 30 minutes and I want you to remember, we don't need to have so much quantity, but more quality, right? And at the end, I have some idioms that are really common and even funny that I really love. So I wanted to show that to you. I also chose this first picture, once again, because we are in Puerta del Sol, in the heart of not only the city, but of the country, where the plaque of the kilometer zero is, where we measure the kilometers from the center to the coasts of the Iberian Peninsula. And also because in this place, we have most of our demonstrations. Experts say that in Spain, we have protest twice a day. So we have a few during the year, and we usually come here also for celebrations and during New Year's Eve. So this is like our Times Square, like you have yours in New York. You can see in this picture some signs in the bottom that says no, 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 right? This is a protest. I think this one was related to politics. And I had another one related to global warming, but I think this one is related to politics. In any case, I wanted to show this one because in general, I think in the Spanish culture, we tend to criticize a lot. We are not pro movements in general. We're like anti movements in general, but that's part of our culture and we talk a lot, right? And so let me show you a few things. Let's start at home. Well, this is not a typical family, but it could be. And this is our current king and queen and their daughters. I don't know if you know that she was not of a noble family. According to what I know, she was a journalist, and Felipe, when he was a prince, fell in love with her. Uh, just watching the news, apparently with his father, former King Juan Carlos, they organized an event, and she came, and then he started texting, and they started dating, and now she's the queen of Spain. But well, this could be a normal, maybe middle class or a little bit of a uh, middle high class society. You know, you see it's a house with a garden. Well, the China could be more expensive, but nothing so luxurious. So typical family in Spain, two parents and maybe two children. We have all kinds of families today, but well. And then something that we say quite commonly, it is familia numerosa. Like in my case, we are six siblings. We are in London, New York, and in Madrid. Four of us here in Madrid. And in Spain, depending on the state, you can apply for benefits if you have a numerous family, five members in the family, two parents, and three children minimum. And you can apply for certain benefits also if the parents or the children have some disabilities and so on. But just for you to know that it is a common term also in Spain, familia numerosa. And in case you're wondering, because sometimes I get the question, no, my dad is not from the Opus Dei, or he's not a gypsy. He could be, but he's not. In any case, let's go into the greetings and questions. I'm sure you're familiar with this. You have seen these ones in books. Um, Usually at home, right? We say buenos dias, and I put the literal translation because I'm not teaching you English. I want you to fix that knowledge in a funny way. So buenos dias, good days. We say it in plural. We are lazy like that. And very important now, ¿cómo dormiste? Using here the second person of the singular informal, okay? We use tú a lot. We don't use usted, ustedes. We use vosotros, and we're going to be talking about those two conjugations mainly today. Tú, like you say you, with one person who is a friend, and vosotros, like you say you, with two or more people who are friends also. We're not going to use usted, ustedes. That's more formal here in Spain. You hear that on TV, or if you're talking to someone who is a lot older than you, or a figure of authority, an important celebration, very elegant, and so on. So only two, okay, today, tú and vosotros. So we continue with two. We say, ¿cómo dormiste? How did you sleep, right? It's quite common. ¿Cómo amaneces? And I highlighted here the C. Remember the C before an E or an I. We pronounce it like you do with a TH. In English, you say, I think, I thought. So you can pronounce it. There's no excuse, okay? You say, ¿cómo amaneces? Tú. You can add the two or not. It would be a little bit redundant. You say in English, how do you awake? How do you wake up? Como amaneces is common here. Descansaste. Descansaste. Did you rest? Did you get some rest? It's quite common at home. And finally, if you don't live with family and you greet in a less personal way, you say this, you say, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Which in English is something like, hello, how is it going, right? How do you do, for example? Hola, ¿qué tal? Is quite common. At home again, if you share a flat like I do in general here in the center of Madrid, or if you are in the street, okay? We're gonna go a little by little to the street. Typical flat, well, this one actually is very clean and organized. But yeah, in general, in Madrid, because of the economical situation, we're used to sharing a flat in the center. You pay for a room between 300 or 400, and then expenses. But yeah, it could be only men, only women, or mixed. In general, I think three people is the most common thing, and we say hola, ¿qué tal? Right? Or as you know, we say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Hi, how are you? Using again the second person of singular informal. And now we go to the second person of plural informal, which is vosotros. I just see it here. Now, vosotros is used a lot here in Spain because again, we tend to have this approach very quickly, not being very polite or formal. And it is important to know that we don't use this in other countries like in Latin America, Central, North, South America. It's not used that I remember. I have traveled through a few countries, and you might hear vos for only one person in Argentina, Uruguay, in some Central American countries, Salvador, even in a part of Venezuela in the West, they use vos. And vos used to be used in Spain too, but not anymore. You know, language keeps changing. So we use vosotros a lot. And here the question would change in plural. ¿Cómo estáis? ¿Cómo estáis? Another typical question talking about movies is, ¿habéis visto esa película? Have you seen that movie? ¿Habéis visto esa peli or esa película, right? Especially before you watch something, I don't know, on your computer, or if you go to the cinema, you ask different people if you have seen this movie or not. So it's a different conjugation. Again, we're not going to go through all the conjugations and many verbs, but I want you to keep these two things in mind, okay? That we use tú very often and vosotros for two or more people. And then, again, since we're not going to conjugate many verbs, this is a common question and a common answer, which only changes with the tone, right? ¿Todo bien? And the answer is todo bien, right? So, ¿todo bien? Todo bien. In English, you say, is everything all right? So it's easy for you to remember. In Spanish, even in Portuguese, tudo bem is similar. And finally, ¿cómo va todo? And we need to pronounce that D, okay? Todo. We don't say todo. We say todo. ¿Cómo va todo? How is everything? Okay, let's continue. If we go more into the street, and this is something that my youngest brother usually says, is ¿qué pasa, familia? ¿Qué pasa is like what's up or what's happening. Familia, for example, my brother says it to us as family and to his friends, right? Familia. And even in the street, you might hear que pacha instead of que pasa. Que pacha is just you know, a common way to say. Maybe you say in English, what's up? In Spanish, we say que pacha, right? And then, very important, you say, what's up, man? What's up, girl? What's up, boy? We use a lot tia for girls and tío for boys. So we say, ¿qué pasa, tío? To my best friend, David, for example. ¿Qué pasa, tío? And when we're telling a story, for example, you saw someone hitting another person, you say, el tipo le pegó. So the guy hit him, or something like this. Of course, this is less formal. And we're going to continue like that. As we go down on this slide, it's going to be less and less formal, okay? And then we say chaval. Actually, one of my brothers sent me a message through WhatsApp today. And the first thing he wrote was chaval, which in English, I think you say something like kid or something similar. And if you have any ideas of a better translation, you can put them in the chat at the same time. And it's going to be great to have a little bit of a conversation and questions and answers at the end. Chavala is more for girls, but it's not as common. It sounds a bit weird. So chavala, it is common. ¿Qué pasa, chaval? And then we say, ¿qué pasa, colega? The translation would be colleague, but this is more again in the street. ¿Qué pasa, colega? Or this is my colleague, this is my bud, my buddy, my mate. Este es mi colega, Carlos, for example. Este es mi colega, Carlos. So, ¿qué pasa, colega? ¿Qué pasa, macho? It's another common one. I know macho is more used for animals, masculine figure of an animal. And then you have hembra for girls, but hembra we don't use for people. That is strange, but we don't use it. But we say ¿qué pasa, macho? Among men, even if you don't know the person in a bar or a restaurant, you say ¿qué pasa, macho? Quite common. And finally, the less formal one is tronco or tronca. I would say if you hear these words, you know that you're not in a very polite or even safe neighborhood. I mean, in a way, it's a joke, but in a way, you can tell that tronco and tronca sound a bit, I don't know, rude sometimes. It depends. It also brings a caring context or a caring feeling, but it is common. ¿Qué pasa, tronco? ¿Qué pasa? Tronca, again, like with the case of chavala, it sounds a bit weird for a girl, for a lady, in my opinion. Maybe you have another opinion. And then palabrotas, curse words. In case you're wondering, I'm not going to teach any, but I wanted you to know that we say curse words for insults or bad words. We say palabrotas. So word is palabra. Curse word is palabrota, a big word, okay? So for example, you tell your children, no digas palabrotas, or no digáis palabrotas. Don't say bad words, okay, or big words. Oops, I skipped one. Okay, and now the replies. You know the questions, now the replies. I need to hurry a little here. Replies, and in this case, we're gonna go in the opposite way, from a normal level, and we're gonna go like more polite, higher, okay? So, bien, muy bien, you know, it's a typical answer. And we use a lot maja or majo, which would be kind or gentle person. And again, I highlighted the J because our pronunciation of the J is strong. So you need to pronounce it, okay? Repeat after me, maja, maja. Then majo. I know in English you say gentleman, gentleman. For girls, do you say a similar word? Maybe you can write it down in the chat or tell me, Dave, whenever you want to tell me.
Yeah, I would say a similar
Mhm.
to gentleman would be ladies.
Okay,
Usually,
but that doesn't mean that the
it's
person is gentle or kind, right?
no.
Not
I mean,
necessarily.
it should,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Okay.
Not necessarily. It's more like guys, like a group of men.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And then another typical reply is fenomenal. You say in English, phenomenal, fenomenal, guapa, and guapo. We say it, well, it means guapa, a beautiful lady or woman, handsome, well, you know, guapo is handsome man, but we say it to anyone. They don't necessarily have to be beautiful or handsome in your opinion. We say it to everyone is quite common, especially to children. We say it a lot. So guapa and guapo. Here with a J, with a G and the U. Guapa, guapo. Okay. Then we also say excelente. This one is a little bit tricky, right? Because you have the X and the C. Excelente. It's like swimming pool. We say piscina, piscina. Okay, excelente, excelente, hermosa, hermoso. Actually, a friend who is a girl, she wrote me through WhatsApp again a while ago today, and she said hermosura. She said beauty. But again, not necessarily because she thinks that of me, but because we say it very common. And we say a lot, hermosa, hermoso. Excellent, gorgeous, or you gorgeous one. I think you also say this in English. You will tell me better at the end because I need to hurry. Okay, another reply. This is something that my youngest brother says a lot, and I love it. He says perfecto. You know, I am perfect, or everything is perfect. Perfecto, crack, or fenomeno. Maybe in English say more champ or champion. We say it in Spain a lot, crack and fenomeno. Okay. And finally, maybe in a more polite atmosphere or environment, I have heard this a lot, de maravilla, ilustre. Maybe you don't say this word a lot, illustrious, but it is common in a more polite environment. De maravilla, ilustre. Okay. Then some other replies and expressions, maybe less polite. We have one that you hear in the street that is called, or we say, debuten, dabuten, o dabuti. Okay, this comes from many centuries ago, and I discovered doing this that it comes from German. I don't speak much German. I know, Dave, you do a little, or some, yeah, and it comes from there. And my better translation was groovy, awesome, or the best of something, okay? But it's quite common. My best friend, David, he says it a lot. Dabuten or dabuti is common to say that something is cool. It's great, it's awesome. And then very important, in English, you say a lot the word cool, at least in the States. And in Spain, we say why. Que guay, how cool. Of course, you hear children say this a lot, but even us adults, we say it. And the other one is mola. Mola is something rocks, it rocks. The expression can also be como mola, or mola mazo. It rocks, it's a lot of fun. Could be said about a person too. Or I dig it. I have heard maybe it's too informal, but well, this is slang or street language, so I'm sure you can relate. And if I say, for example, me mola is I like it, I like it a lot, would be something like that, like I dig it. So it's very common to hear why and mola. And then you say okay a lot, all right, okay. We say vale, 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 vale. We say it a lot, especially when children are listening to their parents, right? Vale, 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 okay, okay. And venga, venga, it's quite common because it has different meanings. As you can see there in blue, it means let's go, it means hurry up, it means deal. Like you're talking to someone, you say deal, say venga, venga, okay. It means cool, it means okay, and other things. So we use it a lot. If you hear it, if you hear us saying venga, 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 could be any of these meanings depending on the context and depending on the tone, right? If I tell you venga, it's something like hurry up, right? And so it depends on the tone and the conversation. And finally, I know you have a, I think you call it like this, Dave, pet word. Do you use this term, Dave, pet word?
How is it? Pet word?
Word, like when you say a lot, like, or kinda, sort of,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah. So in Spanish it's muletilla, as you can see here, muletilla, like a little crutch. And what we say is en plan, en plan. So you're telling a story about your friend or someone you saw, and you repeat this a lot, en plan, en plan. It is a little pet word that we have there, and it is similar to when you use like a, kinda, sorta, so on. Okay. Okay, questions in a conversation. Yeah, if you're talking to your best friend, it is very typical to have these other little crutches or pet words. You say in English, you know. We say sabes, sabes. This one I find really annoying, I have to say. When people tell me, ¿sabes lo que te digo? ¿Sabes lo que te digo? ¿Sabes lo que te digo? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I find it a bit annoying, but it is quite common. So if you hear it here, or if you find it helpful for your conversation, there you go. And then highlighted in orange, remember for your Kahoot quiz at the end, lo pillas, lo pillas. Get it, or do you get it? Oh, let me connect the laptop. Oops, okay. Lo pillas, do you get it? Lo pillas o lo pillo, I get it. Lo pillo, okay, when someone is explaining something to you. And then, ¿me entiendes? Do you understand me? ¿Me entiendes? And people and psychologists say that it is more appropriate or adequate, polite to say, me explico. Am I explaining myself? Me explico. Okay. Other greetings that you're familiar with, but you need to know in Spain, you have heard this before from Tom and Julian maybe. Buenas tardes, little translation, good afternoons. And we say it after having lunch, which is usually 4 p.m. after lunch, okay? You know, we usually have lunch at around 2, 3, and it's very important for you to know. And then buenas noches, we only have one. We don't have good evening or good night like you do. We only say buenas noches. Starting at 9 p.m. Después de cenar, after dinner, and before going to sleep. Antes de dormir. And for sure, the typical one to say goodbye or see you later is hasta luego, hasta luego. The thing is that sometimes people say it so quickly that you only hear something like luego, 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 right? So it's very common. Hasta luego, hasta luego, hasta luego. Okay. Then common expressions. I think I'm doing good with time. Voy al super. I'm going to the supermarket. Voy al super. Voy al supermercado or super. Going to the supermarket. Something quite typical, that little shop that is open more hours and you can find a little bit of everything. We generally say el chino. Could be, I don't know, a little bit discriminating or racist maybe. I don't know. It is true that most of these little shops are owned by Chinese people, but not necessarily. In any case, we use them a lot because they are open for more hours and they have a bit of everything. So I say, voy al chino. If someone tells you, voy al chino, I'm going to the Chinese. No, I'm going to the small shop. Okay. La tiendita, al chino. Then, voy a hacer la colada. Voy a hacer la colada. I'm going to do the laundry. I'm going to do, laundry in Spain. Very important. Voy a currar. I'm going to work. If I say, for example, estoy en el curro, I am in my office, in my work. Curro would be job. Yeah, and if you want to say that in present continuous, estoy currando. I am working, estoy currando. So you have to pronounce that double R, okay? Finally, something interesting, we say voy a hacer footing, which comes from English, but in English you don't say footing. You say I'm going running, I'm going for a run. And in Spain we say voy a hacer footing. Interesting, okay? Okay, next one, we have a couple more. Now these are the new verbs. You know, languages are always changing. And maybe the Spanish Royal Academy, Real Academia Española, is going to approve these verbs soon. Who knows? I know you make a verb out of everything. Here is not so common, but it's happening. So people say, voy a googlear. Googlear from Google. And WhatsAppear, sending messages using WhatsApp. And I'm being very educated here because especially in some areas of the South, you hear people saying, envíame un WhatsApp, for example, send me a WhatsApp message. And it's becoming like a verb, not approved, but it's becoming a verb because of all these apps that we now have. And now these are typical conversations, right? Using the phones. And finally, the idioms, as I told you. So we have a few here to the left in Spanish and then in the right in English with this beautiful picture. Could be one of my grandparents. We have 5. And again, if you have a higher level, maybe this is better for you. I love all of these ones. They're very common. And so, al buen entendedor, pocas palabras bastan. O a buen entendedor, pocas palabras bastan. A word to the wise is sufficient. I believe you say something like this. Literal translation would be, to someone who understands things, few words are enough. A buen entendedor, pocas palabras. Something else we say a lot, and I think it's part of our culture, is el que no llora, no mama. I think you say the squeaky wheel gets the oil or the grease. Literal would be he who doesn't cry, doesn't suck, or doesn't suckle. Talking about babies, right? El que no llora, no mama. Finally, a quien madruga, Dios le ayuda. Maybe the early bird catches the worm, you say. He who awakes early, God helps. A quien madruga, Dios le ayuda. And then Barriga llena, corazón contento. Full belly, happy heart. We say this a lot after we eat lunch. Barriga llena, corazón contento. Finally, en boca cerrada no entran moscas. You say something like silence is golden, or in a shut mouth, flies do not enter. And once again, here are the idioms with a beautiful picture. This gray bar, there we go. And yeah, you can repeat it, and I hope you took some notes. And well, there are many other things, Dave, of course. We have such a wide vocabulary, but I think that would be enough for today. And we're ready for questions, answers, and the Kahoot quiz.
All right.
Any comments in the chat?
Yeah,
Let me see if I see something. I saw it in yellow a couple of times. Oh, Ashley saying hi. Julian, ¿qué pasa, tronco? Muletilla is a crutch word, yeah. And Christian, could you use crack in context? Oh yes, Christian, so we use crack. I know it is a bit tricky because it could sound like the drug, but no, we use it like with kids, when a person is really talented doing something. I say it to my nephews and to my younger brothers. ¿Qué pasa, crack? What's up, crack? Like, you're a phenomenon. You're great. Maybe we hear it mostly in a sports context, to really good players who say it a lot. But yeah, that's the use of it. Yeah, it reminds you of Ireland. Oh, I don't know what they say in Ireland with crack.
We use it similarly in English. You could say that
Oh, you
somebody's
do?
yeah, like you could say they're a crack shot if they're really good at shooting, or they're a, you know, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just,
Okay.
I mean, not very common though. Not much,
Mhm.
but we'd use it
Here
like
in
an
Spain is
adjective.
quite common.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, here's quite common. Crack, fenómeno, ilustre. Yeah, those are.
Yeah, it might be used a little bit differently here then, because we wouldn't use it in that way. It just means like really good.
Yeah, you
All right.
wouldn't tell your children, "What's up, crack?" You wouldn't say
No,
that.
not at all. No. If
I
he,
would say
you
it to
know,
my nephew. Sure, yeah.
for some reason, I can only think of it in the context of shooting stuff, like a good basketball shooter or gun shooter or something, somebody with good aim. It's a crack shot. I can't think of I guess we use it as a crack pot. That's another thing, but I don't, not the same, not, that means something totally different.
Okay. Christine says, singing in the pubs is crack. Okay. And then Kathleen says, for kid, I could say dude like we do here. I don't understand the question, Kathleen.
Like, so we use the word dude, you know,
Yeah.
to refer to people. Do you have dude at all?
Well, we don't say dude, but we say, like I said before, colega could be, what's up, dude? Yeah, colega, macho. We use those two a lot, colega and macho.
All right. All right.
So
So let's see if people
want to play? Can I play today?
All right, that's so loud. There we go.
Can I play?
Can you play?
Yes.
No, you can't play.
You can play reggae. It's the last one, right? I
You've-
think. Well, it might
All
be
right, yeah, I
for
can
me.
put it on. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, Proud Gator. We have a Gator from UF. Awesome. My city, Gainesville. Proud Gator, the first. That's going to be the winner. Proud Gator, the first one. Oh, thank you for the reggae. I love reggae. I feel like I'm in the beach.
Do you?
The
Hey,
reggae.
by the way, you mentioned the other day that your favorite movie is A Knight's Tale. I love A
Yes,
Knight's
that's right.
Tale. I haven't seen
You
it in
love it?
so long. Yeah, you reminded me of it. You know,
Oh.
Luis, with all these lectures, you've changed your stars.
Thank you. My family is tired of me telling me every Christmas. I tell them, let's watch Knight's Tale. And they're like, oh, you should have. And I have
That's
given
great,
it away. Yeah, I have given it away to to, well, teenagers when they come as a gift or as a prize, an award. And I watch it at least once a year. I don't know, I have something special with that movie.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it with my, with my boys now. They're old enough, and they'd appreciate it because I really liked it. You know, and that was the first time that I started watching Paul Bettany.
Okay.
Now I love him since then,
Okay.
in everything he's done.
Oh, I haven't followed him that much, but that's cool. I really liked Heath Ledger,
Yeah,
and
he's
well,
great.
I think it's a great movie, and you can learn so many things from it about friendship, changing your stars, and a few other things. Yeah, I think it's refreshing for me.
What was his name? William Thatcher. That was it, right?
William Thatcher.
William
Yes. At the end,
Thatcher.
William. Yes, yes.
That's a good one.
In Washington, D.C., I have a nephew who is William, so I watched it with him 2 years ago, and he liked it. But yeah, I'm really passionate about the movie. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh,
All right.
we have other things. You were saying that you didn't know the exact translation when you was a kid. Oh, dude. Okay, cool. And Lori, thank you for the clarification. To and usted. Native English speakers seem to have a lot of trouble distinguishing. Yeah, in Spain it's quite common to use tú. Maybe in Latin America it's more common to use usted for sure, especially Colombia, everything near the Cordillera Andina, that mountain, is more common to use usted. And Jacqueline is telling us that we watched the movie on the bus. Yes, I show the movie sometimes on the bus. Yes. Good memory, Jacqueline. I think we're ready to play, you think?
All right. Jacqueline has one more question there. She says, does colega not change to masculine?
Oh, that's right. I didn't see that. No, colega, it's like we say in Spanish, dentista or economista. It finishes with an A, which seems feminine, but it is both for masculine and feminine. So colega, both. And again, you can use it in a very formal context. This is my colleague, a doctor or someone. Or you can use it in the street, like, ¿Qué pasa, colega? What's up, colleague? It has both contexts. Good question, yes.
I'm going to start using that in English. What's up, colleague? Everybody's going to love it. It's going to catch on. All right, let's Kahoot. Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. I'm supporting the proud gator, you know. I'm a gator.
This is a particular, I think I'm at a disadvantage in this one.
You think?
Yeah. I don't know much Spanish.
You speak German, right?
No, not really. I took it in high school, but only for a year. So I really didn't retain too much. I've learned more German since then, honestly.
Oh, there's a proud gator. Most people got that right, so good. Cool. Let's see. Why? Most people did. Why? By the way, pijo is like snob guy, snob boy. Pijo. Okay. Proud gator. Oh, going down, proud gator. We have the beautiful Gran Via in front of us once again. That's a beautiful picture. Remember? Get it? Did you get it? Lopillas? Did you get it? Okay. Who's winning now? Helpful Bison, Mighty Cruz. When do we say buenas tardes? see.
All right.
After having lunch, well done.
Coming
After
down to the
going
last
shopping,
question. Helpful Bison,
bison,
crushing it. It's way ahead.
sloth. And the fire, I guess it means it's a streak. I've been responding. How do we say I'm gonna work?
I think you should say it again. Oh, wait, after. I like the way you say it.
Okay. By the way, the red one is wrong. Something went wrong with a letter there. Oh yeah, they confused the F with the D. It's all right. It's not correct. Yeah, people remember. Voy a currar. Voy a currar. Sorry. Voy a currar. Yeah. Currar.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, let's see.
How'd we do?
Fabulous ferret.
Zany sloth.
Famous lad. And
Nice job.
helpful vice, Julian Mosley. Okay. Okay, good.
All right. Oh, Kristen, you couldn't see the questions? I wonder why. What happened? That's too bad. Well, good job.
Oh,
Ashley was proud gator. She managed to fifth's not bad.
You gotta drink some Gatorade. Okay.
All right. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Here is our feedback link, which you could fill out for us. We love to get some feedback. So thank you so much. Yes, muchas gracias. Thank you, Luis. Always great. You this was a really nice one, and I think people are going to really enjoy this. So for more information about our lectures, please visit passports.com/blog. You can see all of the things that we've done. Share this. We're happy if you do. So thank you all so much. Thanks again, Luis. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, I'll see you soon. Bye,
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.